Hello, I'm Brian Cuppett, Senior Vice President of Sales at ScanSource. We've all been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we hope that all our employees, partners, and supplier partners continue to stay safe during these challenging times. ScanSource has built the Go Remote program to help our partners find products and solutions to help keep your business and your end customer's business functioning and continuing to operate in all the different environments we find ourselves in operating in today. Today, I'm here with one of our top supplier partners, Poly. I'm talking with Nick Tidd, Vice President of Global Channel Sales at Poly. Welcome, Nick. Hey, it's great to see you today.
Hey, Brian, thanks for having me.
Well, we really appreciate the partnership with Poly, and I had a few questions I wanted to talk about in relation to the pandemic. So tell us a little bit about Poly and what are all the solutions that you guys are providing today?
Absolutely. First of all, I hope everybody is staying safe. It's on trying times. As one whose family has been personally affected by COVID, and I know many of you, please exercise some social distancing. I live in Southern California. I don't know if you've seen the beaches down here, but please, people, just be safe. But to your question, Brian, Poly, for those that are not familiar with the name, was the combination of Plantronics and Polycom. We are very excited about the product portfolio as we brought together the two portfolios traditionally in the headset space, handset space, in our video space. Our technology is pervasive around the world. And it's interesting as we navigate these untrying times, it's really been a test to the technology and the platforms and really emphasizing the need to connect regardless of platform from wherever you are and whatever environment you're in. I think it's acceptable now to have kids running behind you for those that are trying to do homeschooling. Noise cancellations become even more important, and USB peripherals have become even more important. And then the ability to scale across platforms. We're happen to be on a Zoom call. People are moving between Zoom and Teams and Skype and other platforms. So it's really been a test of the technology, and Poly plays a big role in that.
Yeah, I totally hear you because we always are on different calls, and Poly products are very ubiquitous in connecting with anything. And so we definitely leverage them. I'm using some of them today, actually. What resources are you offering that help customers stay connected while working remotely? We're all in this work remote environment. Some of us, like yourselves, are always working. I've typically been in an office environment, but now I'm back working from home for the past month and a half. What are the solutions that you guys are offering now that really help and complement that work from home environment?
Well, I think the biggest challenge has been getting the products to the people that need them. We have seen an unprecedented demand for our technology. We took it upon ourselves very early on in this process to begin an allocation process, and we thank our partners for having an understanding. As you can imagine, we're prioritizing first responders who have a great need for headsets and for communication devices. Then we're allocating to healthcare providers, then government from there, and then to folks that have budget constraints. And then finally, we get to stock, which is not too plentiful these days. And so first, I want to thank ScanSource for the tremendous effort you've had in helping us allocate the products. So it's been, as I mentioned earlier, headsets, but handsets, people are taking them home to work from home. So it's adaptive. And then from our camera technologies, whether that's in the studio platform or our Eagle Eye Mini or our Q products, just a huge, huge demand. We, of course, have been impacted with supply chain around the world. I don't know of a single manufacturer that's not been impacted in some way with supply chain, whether you're a food producer. And I think hopefully we're not going to see protein take the place of toilet paper in the demand. So please, folks, buy accordingly as you need. Remember, there's a bit of a spoilage effect with protein, but kind of back to technology and usage. So it's prioritizing orders. It's from a licensing perspective, making sure that people can connect. From a tech support perspective, making sure that we're available with our partners to support. And then posting as much material as we can in our partner PRM platform so that folks can get easy access to information. And it's interesting as I look at the dynamic of people shifting and working from home, attendance to webinars is at an all-time high. The craving of information is at an all-time high. video usage, whether you're on the Zoom platform as an all-time high. We've seen a huge explosion in minutes with Teams. All of those are underpinned with Poly technologies delivered through our partners. And I think as we come out of post-COVID, I think some of this is going to be the workflow is going to be a natural part of our day-to-day efforts. And so, we were looking at a survey the other day in a recent poll from Gartner. 74% of CFOs that were surveyed expect an incredible shift to staying and working at home permanently. So I think the way in which we're architecting products and our delivery motion through ScanSource is going to be the new norm.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think we're seeing that. We're seeing that you can still be effective even though you're not in the office, and leveraging these types of solutions and tools and platforms to do it. One of the next question is around your own employees, and so I know Poly has a lot of remote folks already in their sales teams and things like that. But I guess from an office perspective or things like that, is there specific things you guys did or leveraged to help you succeed with them working remotely as well?
For us as a company, no, it was not. It's been part of our DNA. It has been for many, many, many years. In fact, I have a lot of our partners, Nick, why do you travel so much? You're with a video company. Every time I talk to you, you're in some remote part of the world. I'm a big believer in face-to-face interaction and being able to sit and have a coffee with a partner and really understand what's making them tick. Obviously that's been replaced with video, but I think it's taught us to be more productive with video. It's taught us to be more productive with our meetings. It's taught us to be more collaborative in environments, both personally and for those that are working at home. You hear stories of family dance parties. We had a virtual birthday party for my daughter the other day where we went through the effort. We got a cake, put a banner up behind, and it's norm. So for our employees, I think what worries me is the stress that it's putting on folks who are trying to balance kids that are schooling from home, elderly parents that they can't go and see. And so we're really encouraging our employees, and I would encourage our partners to really have a strong work-life balance. Walk away for 15 minutes, go and spend some time, reach out to a loved one, reach out to a partner, just like I'm reaching out to Mr. Cuppet. We're staying in touch. And so from back to your question, it's re-emphasize the values of our employees, it's reinforced the messaging, it's collaborating, and we're trying to do the same thing with our partners as well. And then for those partners that have been decentralized, that are working from home, just trying to give them the most current information. Specifically, we talked earlier about product ETAs, and it's been frustrating for some, and others have been very appreciative of the process, but communication's probably been the number one lesson in collaboration.
No, I think that's great sound advice. I think we're seeing a lot of the same. I've been doing a lot of individual calls with individual contributors at home just to make sure, checking in to make sure that they are separating. Because it's very easy when you're working from home to just stay working all the time or whatever, but that disconnect is healthy, and definitely understand. So with COVID-19 and the pandemic, what are the things are there any insights or things that you've learned in working with customers or employees? I know we've collectively done some really great deals for hospitals and that together with our partner community, but are there any other insights or opportunities that you've been able to capitalize on as Poly?
I would say insights of how the technology is being used, absolutely. Feedback on adaptiveness of the technology, the Connect, how to do device management. The device that you're wearing, your Voyager 6200, we've talked for a long time about the ability to remotely manage that device, to control the firmware, to control the battery life. Control not being the right word, to observe how the technology is being used. And I think as enterprises decentralize, that need to manage devices remotely is going to continue to move forward. You could almost say that this world we're in today has forced us to evaluate how we use technology, how we're going to manage technology. And then as we build technology for the future, that ability to switch between platforms, which we talked about earlier, is more of that adaptive nature. So it's really given us insight into usage, different environments, architect around how we join meetings and other attributes. And then from just the dynamic of the distributed work environment, I think going forward, as we come out of this, there's a concern there may not be enough capital in the markets, right? And so are we going to see a shift towards device as a service model, hardware as a service, the need for OpEx-based models, whether those are leases or rentals, I think is going to change the dynamic of how we deliver product. Managed services are going to become more critically important. So I would encourage partners as they think about what post-COVID looks like is to think of the nature of management of device, decentralization of resources, decentralization of the workforce, and how we can manage that going forward.
Now it makes sense. It's definitely, we're going to have to see what post-COVID looks like for sure. You just mentioned, actually, we were just talking about, is there one device that you could not live with, and this one works great because it's got echo cancellation, so when the noise starts after about 3 o'clock, that you're still working. Just curious of what's your one device if you're looking at
my one device is my Eagle Eye Mini 2 camera. Just the ability to see people, to communicate with people, have people turn their cameras on. I'm like, come on, folks, don't tell me you know you're not video ready. That's part of the psyche of working from home. You got to be video ready at any given point in time. So I think from a camera and a good video quality perspective, you know, we talk about now video etiquette, right? You know, we're looking at people's homes going, wow, look, I guess Brian's a golfer. He's got a 2014 Masters thing behind him. You know, what's Nick got behind him? You know, it's really opened up a different conversation, a different conversation stream. So definitely my video camera, my technology, my stand-up desk. My God, it's my number one exercise piece. And then of course it's the multitude of headsets that I'm fortunate enough to have when I do take that cell phone call, or when I want to go and walk around the block or hop on my bike and go for a bike ride, that, you know, you've got that connectivity because we live in a connected world. So probably my number one is my video technology.
That's a good point. That's what I have. I have the Mini here on top of this screen. So that's definitely gives you a great picture and adjusts when you move around. So it's really cool as far as the ability to keep you in sync. Anything else that, as we're finishing up, that you wanted to add or talk about as far as Poly is enabling us to continue to work through all this trying time?
Yeah, I would like to really thank the partners. As many of them know, we adopted and introduced a new partner program on April 7th. Timing was interesting, but we also spent a lot of time on reviewing how we could enable our partners better, how we could communicate with them, how we could collaborate with them. So we brought on a new partner relationship management platform. Thank you for those that have been very diligent about logging in. You know, success is not measured on how many logins you get. Success is measured on how many times that person comes back. So thank you for the repeat visits. Take the time to really share with us how we're doing, how we're enabling you, how we're transferring information to you, because we are a channel company. We have great partnership with ScanSource and want to continue to develop and enable our partner base. And so the last thing I would ask you, as you're working remotely, you know, use the tools. Let us know what you think of them, how we can improve them. We're by no means done with our journey. We've just only begun. And so my final message again, as we started the call, Brian, please be safe. You know, please accept some social distancing. It's not over yet. For those of us that like to get outside, for me personally as a golfer, I don't mind walking 6 feet apart from my compadre. I don't need a bottle washer. I don't need a rake. I can leave the pin in the cup, but whatever your outlet is, please be safe.
Well, thank you, Nick. And I agree with you. And I think it was actually this week we were supposed to be having a little meeting in Greenville and partnering on the golf course as well. So we'll have to do that again once we can get back out there. But thank you for your time today. Great talking to you and learning more about Poly and all the things you guys are doing to help support us and organizations and our partner community with all these challenging times that are going on and helping those remote and on-the-go workers be successful. For more information about partnering with ScanSource for your Poly products, you can go to our website at scansource.com/poly. And just wrapping up on our Go Remote campaign, we've put together a whole bunch of different solutions. Nick talked about the Zoom platform. There's other platforms that are out there that a lot of people are using, and ScanSource is a good resource for all of them. So I invite you to visit our scansource.com/go-remote website to get more information on all those. And thanks again, Nick. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And again, as well, to everybody out there, stay safe and practice social distancing. And we look forward to seeing you again really soon.